Summit is a band that I've been into for a very long time, since the days of MySpace. I used to follow Chris himself even before the band itself was formed. And then when I went to a Dream Theater concert in Houston, I was actually handed their EP when I was exiting the show, and it was a handwritten EP. I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere around here, but it's really cool to think that I actually still have their EP long before they even came out with their first album. And that brings us to today's album, 5. Now, 5 is, to me, their best album to date because the album kicks off with the song The Winged Bull, which is very in your face, it's very riffy, and it has that Scale the Summit sound that we all know and love. Speaking of the tracks on the album, every title of each song actually shows up in album art. So if you don't exactly know which each song means, Google it and you'll find out, and you'll see that they all show up on the album art, which is really cool. And that's kind of the theme of the entire album that they've done since the beginning, because all throughout the making of the album, they would film these little short clips and put them on Instagram, and they would keep asking their sound guy, Jeff, did you record that? And he'd be like doing something crazy, and the riff would be something that we already all know, and the whole idea of it was really funny leading up to that. And then for Stellaris, they actually did an 80s pop-up video, which was hilarious because they were all dressed in 80s clothes, rocking out and jamming, and they had like facts about themselves in the band throughout the entire video, and it was really funny. Now, new to this album is actually the drummer. JT does an awesome job on this album. He is very on time, his drums sound great, and he's a great fit for the band. Everyone instrumentally on the album is amazing, because in Crystal, JT and Mark, the bassist, have this little part that they're doing. Mark's slapping, and JT is keeping time with them, and it creates a cool polyrhythm because the guitar's doing something really different. To me, that was one of the standout points of the album, because it's whenever Crystal gets really heavy, because most of that song is actually pretty light. One of my favorite songs on the album is Trapped in Ice, because it starts out kind of spacey and ambient, then it kicks in with this little riff, and then when it kicks in, it's nice and hard, and it's very driving. That to me is one of my favorite songs on the album. And the album itself, it has its ebbs and its flows, because you have your mellow songs, but you also have your songs that that are really riffy, that are really driving, and that keep your attention. I like this album a lot better than the last one because it tends to keep my attention a lot more. And then they end the album out with The Golden Bird, which it's a nice, good, soothing song, and it ends the album on a nice, good, mellow note. This album, of course, I feel like I'm saying so every album I review is gonna be in my top 10 albums of the year. It kind of surprised me a little bit because I didn't expect it to be this good, but that's a good thing. If you like instrumental music, or if you've ever listened to Scale the Summit before, or if you ever listened to Dream Theater or prog metal in general, you definitely need to check this album out. As for me, I'm out. Peace.